here's the thing that I think one of the takeaways. Not everybody's a Kash Jackson. Not everybody's a person with great influence, but we can all do something.
Absolutely.
I mean, I worked on a presidential campaign in 2012 with Rick Santorum. So, I was on, volunteer of his, and, wasn't paid or anything like that. I loved what he stood for and everything else. And I remember afterwards, somebody asked him, he was giving a speech, and people would say, "But Rick, what can we do about this? Rick, what can you do about that?" And I remember he said, "Well, I don't know, but do something." And I said, "You know what? I like that, because to me, I don't have all these great talents that other people have. I may have some areas, but I'm like, I can do something. I can do something." It's a very low bar. Sitting and doing nothing should never be an option.
Right.
But we can do something. And we should not have one man doing the work of 100 people. We should have 100 people doing the work of what would the normal work. If you divide that work up, it could be so much more effective.
Absolutely. And that's where I've got to hand it to Sarah, is that we've got one woman doing an incredible amount.
Right. And yeah, I talked to Sarah.
And she's, going through, medical training right now. She's in school again.
Right.
And, looking to go back to work full time.
Yeah.
And then she's got my son.
Yeah.
And he's a handful. So, yeah, there's plenty that people can do, and just reach out to myself, reach out to Sarah, reach out to Cash's page, and somebody, will get back with you and let you know what you can do.
Yeah. And now this may sound like a very selfish plug, but if you're watching this video, please feel free to like the video, to share it. I mean, I've driven out here from Dallas. It was a 4-hour trip to come and see you. And the reason I came out, the first thing I saw when you posted your medical condition, I said, wait a minute, I needed to get out there, because I did not know exactly what your condition was, but I thought about Ted Bush, and I thought I did not get to see Ted and talk with him.
Yeah, that was tough, because we thought Ted was doing so well.
Yeah.
And then he very quickly got sick, and it spread.
Yeah.
And Cash took that very hard.
Yeah.
And of course it scared me, because he was diagnosed just weeks after I was.
Right.
So it made me feel like, oh Lord, my number may be up any moment now.
Right.
And then whenever I got so sick this past week and was hospitalized, it got a little scary there.
Yeah.
But today's visit, I came out with a little better positive note, because giving up is not a part of the game.
No, it's not a part of the game.
Not at all. In the beginning, I put it in God's hands. That's where it still remains. I just go to where He directs me to go, and do what I'm supposed to do to take care of me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you once again, but that was the reason that I came here, because I thought with Ted, I think that there were a lot of things he still wanted to say.
Oh, there was so much Ted wanted to say.
And I mean, Ted was a great encourager. I've messages from Ted. He said, "Jeff, keep doing what you're doing."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because sometimes you feel like you're doing something, and is anybody watching? Anybody listening?
Right. Yeah, his last words to Cash were, "Don't ever stop fighting."
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let these bastards win, is what he said.
I think I have him on. I think I have him on audio also saying the same thing. So, but I wanted to make sure that, to the degree that I could be out here, so that if the same thing were true in your situation, that you could get your final words out there. And Momma Jackson, you know that there are many people throughout the country that love you.
And I appreciate that. Because I have met some really amazing people. I hate the circumstances that we had to meet, because with each one of them came a story much similar to ours, and I guess that's what connected us.
Right.
But then as I got to know them a little better through Messenger and Facebook and phone calls, I met some amazing people. Amazing people. So there is good that comes out of every bad situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And those are my good. And
yeah.
Just recently I found myself consoling a friend of mine, known each other 20 years, I guess, maybe longer. And she was so upset, about my illness. And she said, but, you know, you're not going to be here anymore. She said, I didn't understand. You're not going to be here anymore. And I said, of course I understand. I'm the one that's not going to be here.
Right.
I said, but what you don't understand is it's my turn.
Right.
And I've lived a good life.
Yeah.
And she broke down and she said, no, you have not. You've lived a hard life.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not how I define my life.
Right.
Yes, I've had hardships.
Yeah.
But I define my life by all the wonderful people that I've had the pleasure of knowing in my time on earth.
Yeah.
Because they are what got me through all those hard times.
Yeah.
So I am beyond blessed.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, you even in a situation, you can still live life so that you have no regrets. Listening to a video today and somebody says, you know, these are the top 5 regrets of people as they realize at their end of their life. And all of these various things, you know, and some of this adversity has changed me in certain ways to say, this regret that I may have had at the end of my life, that doesn't hold me captive anymore.
Right.
Because now we're doing something, you know, you have a purpose, you know that evil happens in this world. God permitted you to go through this evil so that you could be the change agent, you could be the person, you know. It was Joseph who was sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused of raping Potiphar's wife, forgotten about in prison. He was the one who became the ruler of Egypt, and because of him and the favor he found with God and the wisdom that God gave him, all of Egypt was saved. And then eventually his own family had to come down because they were going to starve to death. And God used those very difficult circumstances, molded Joseph, but also used Joseph to bring about, and the Bible talks about this, the salvation of many people. What you meant for evil, and it was very evil, God used for good. God meant it for good. And Momma Jackson, I know that that's really, if our lives are that way, what others meant for evil, God uses for good. That is a great definition of our life.
Absolutely.
And anyway, so I hope you've just want to thank you so much for letting me come here. And again,
thank you for coming. This has been good.
Yeah. Anybody who's following this, please remember Kash Jackson. Free Kash Jackson. We'll be looking forward to the web pages, you know, the Facebook pages for additional information. We must take down this evil, wicked, corrupt.
Absolutely.
immoral.
Absolutely. These children have got to have somebody helping them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got to.
Yeah. Yeah. Momma Jackson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
See you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.